By the authority given in the statutes of the Open University, I declare this congregation open for the conferment of degrees and the presentation of graduates. Distinguished guests, graduates, and friends of the university, it's my privilege and pleasure to welcome all of you to the 12th of the OU's degree ceremonies being held this year. I'm confident that this will be one of the most wonderful, I hope inspiring days of your lives. It's also my great pleasure to welcome our honorary graduate, Anne-Marie Imafidon. We're delighted to be able to honour her today, and we'll hear more about her great achievements later on. During the last year, the OU has awarded over 20,000 qualifications. They range from certificates of higher education to Doctor of Philosophy. Throughout this year, more than 8,000 graduates are being presented in person for their qualifications at ceremonies such as this one today. And they're also being held in 12 different towns and cities throughout England, and also in Belfast, Cardiff, Edinburgh, and Dublin. That gives you an idea of the amazing scale and reach of our university. Now, I hope it goes without saying that today is a very important occasion in the life of all of you, our wonderful graduates, your families and your supporters, as well as the university staff who I'm sure have nurtured and supported you throughout your time with the university. Now, you might be forgiven for thinking that with the brass band and the robes, that this is going to be an entirely solemn occasion. But you'd be quite wrong, because in every sense, this is a day of enormous celebration. So I'm afraid we'll be very disappointed if any graduate crosses the stage today to anything less than thunderous applause, or whatever other specific way that you choose to celebrate. And the video that was shown a minute ago might have given you a few clues. So in order to get ourselves into the mood, why don't we ask all of the graduates to please stand. And friends, families, and OU staff, let's start today's ceremony by giving all of our amazing graduates a huge round of applause. Pretty good. You just have to keep that up for the next 2 hours. So when that special moment arrives and your particular graduate steps forward, feel free to clap and cheer as loudly as you like. You're welcome to stand up too, so they can see you better as they walk across the stage. I know it's a Friday, but are there any children in the house? Are there any children here? Good, good. Now, it can be very helpful to your mum and dad if they hear you cheering particularly loudly and they also know where you are. So would the children please like to stand up and just wave and shout to mum and dad so you all know where everyone is? Good. Now, this morning it was quite a raucous crowd, and the families seemed to get into a kind of competition to see who could shout the loudest. I'm not suggesting you do that, but that's what happened this morning. We'll be moving, there are quite a lot of people to come across the stage this afternoon, so people will be coming across quite quickly. But I try and have a conversation with a few people. If there's something that you'd particularly like to tell me about your studies or a particular experience that you've had during your time with the university. Someone's told me in the past that they had 3 children whilst they were studying. A lady this morning told me that she'd had 2 knee replacement operations and a broken back, and she still managed to qualify. So top that, or how long have you been studying for? So it's very interesting, and occasionally I'll tell the rest of the audience about something, so it can allow people to know the kinds of things that people have been going through. So let me just explain how proceedings are going to go ahead. We'll begin with the presentation of those graduates who've gained higher degrees and first degrees of Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Engineering, and Bachelor of Laws. and they'll be presented by my colleague, Matt Staples. He's a staff tutor in our Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences. We'll then see the awarding of the honorary degree of Doctor of the University to Anne-Marie Emathodon, and Dr. Clem Herman, who's sitting next to Anne-Marie, who's a senior lecturer in Computing and Communications in our Faculty of Science, Technology, Engineering and Mathematics, will present Anne-Marie. She'll then come here to sign our honorary graduates book, and then she'll come to the lectern to make her reply. And then our last segment will be the presentation of graduates who've gained Bachelor of Science degrees, foundation degrees, and diplomas of higher education. And to conclude the ceremony, I'll give a personal address to all of the graduates. I now call upon Mr. Staples to present the graduates.
Vice-Chancellor, I shall now present graduates who have gained higher degrees and have been able to attend here today. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, I present to you for a thesis entitled Representations of Crime, Justice and Punishment in the Popular Press, a study of the Illustrated Police News, 1864 to 1938. Alice Smalley. For the degree of Doctor in Education, I present to you for a thesis entitled Teachers Being Creative, Technology in Drama, Catherine Lupson. For the degree of Master of Arts in Art History, I present David Brindley. For the degree of Master of Arts in English with distinction, I present Jennifer Wardley. For the degree of Master of Arts in English, I present Patricia Arshad. Surjit Dalawal. For the degree of Master of Arts in History with distinction, I present Linda Anderson. For the degree of Master of Arts in History with distinction and Bachelor of Arts with honours, I present Duncan Gager. For the degree of Master of Arts in Music, I present Audrey Williams. For the degree of Master of Business Administration, I present Alexei Chaplagin. Emily Fitzsimmons. Jason Heap. Mattia Lenhoff. Claire Miles. Vikram Milnes. Keston Morris. Stephanie Taylor. Matthew Werry. For the degree of Master of Education, I present Jill Catmull. For the degree of Master of Science in Development Management, I present Claire Morris. For the degree of Master of Science in Medicinal Chemistry, I present Erica Azzopardi. For the degree of Master of Science in Software Development, I present Gary Miller. Vice-Chancellor, I shall now present graduates who have gained Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Engineering and Bachelor of Laws degrees and have been able to attend here today. I present for the degree of Bachelor of Arts with First Class Honours, Peter Adamson. Jaspinder Badwan. Adam Bainbridge. Jackie Butler. Jen Cooper. Flor DeAndrews. Lynn Finney. Sterling Foster. Jane Galloway. Evianna Goodman. Nicola Hatch. Laura Howes. Charlotte Jones. Michael Jones. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts with First Class Honours, I present to you on behalf of the late Janice Lloyd, her daughters Melanie and Laura Wilkes. Azim Malik. Alison Main. Alison McCormack. Fiona McElroy. Mary Milson. Dominic Morehouse. Holly Morris. Bianca Morsink. Karen Munro. Jill Pewter. Kalpa Pisavadia. David Richardson. Michelle Rostron. Mark Shelley. Delius Singer. Amanda Snook. Jane Willis. Melanie Willis. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts with Honours, I present Ruth Adamson. Alexandra Ball. Janet Barker. Fove Bickerstaff. Annalie Blake. Christine Blowfield. Juliet Boney. Sarah Boone. Caroline Bork. Stuart Boyland. Ivana Briskoska. Joanna Burns. Carol Butcher. Mary Butler. Jimena Camacho. Ellis Clough. Jessica Conroy. Edana Corlett. Julia Cox. Kane Coxon. Sean Cunningham. Shay Curtis. Kate Dale. Laura Dota. John Davidson. Christine Davis. Elise Davis. Catherine de Mons. Anna Dibley. Carolyn Dodd. Melody Ebner Horges. Melanie Eckenfeld. Amy Farnfield. Paula Flores Medrano. Elaine Gale. Emma Gallagher. Laura Gillies. Laxmi Gurung. Joanne Hansen. Charlotte Hawker. Charlene Haynes. Stella Hemphill. Kirsty Hildebrand. Sue Hitching. Dominic Hogan. Paul Hogarth. Tracy Hollingberry. Lynn Hood. Andrew Hopper. Radka Horenfeld. Mary Hosty. David Howe. Joe Hughes. Narinda Hunjan. Robert Hunter. Victoria Hyam. Emily Isat. Sophia Jackson. Vivi Jensen. Hayley Jones. Mariam Kaperska Zegar. Heather Keogh. Lydia Kenny. Samantha Kershaw. Vicky Khan. Svetlana Korobinnikova. Barry Lawson. Angeline Lee. Jenny Lead. Daniel Lucy. Jeff Lightfoot. Mary Lockhart. Samantha Lopez. Robert Malice. Stephanie Mann. Lara Marshall. Sarah McCarthy. Caroline Mead. Jean Mercer. Victoria Miller. Mark Mills. Catherine Mortimer. Melissa Mortimer. Derek Moss. Jane Muldoon. Robert Nita. Amy O'Callaghan. Lucy Odell. Juliet O'Grady. Paul Oliver. Rebecca Onions. Donna Patton. Rebecca Peters. Suzanne Poll. Melanese Rugbear. Samantha Ransley. Donald Reynolds. Larice Richards. Daniel Ruffles. Victoria Salter. Melody Sarajalu. Teresa Singers. Anna Slocum. Deborah Smith. Gemma Smith. Vlada Smith. Thomas Stacey. Debbie Sutton. Stephen Swain. Michelle Tucker-Vincent. Lucia Urbanova. Irene Vega. Jolimar Viloria. Peter Wadman. Christine Wafer. Clifton Weston. Nicolette Whitaker. Julie Wilson. Philip Wilson. Emma Wood. Carla Yarrow. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts, I present Susan Fennell. Terry Ruddock. Beverly White. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Social Work, with honours, I present Carolyn Brockman. I present, for the degree of Bachelor of Engineering, with First Class Honours, David Pinning. I present, for the degree of Bachelor of Laws, with First Class Honours, Rona Bird. Siobhan Cronin. Lisey Kapembwa. Ketivan Lomedza. Pernilla Luscombe. Guy Mully. Elizabeth Pennington. For the degree of Bachelor of Laws with honours, I present Carly Aitchison. David Bowen. Kieran Burke. Christine Carr. Scott Coxhead. Jansen Guy. Judy Hallett. Fabiha Imran. Annette Israel Boyer. Daniel Jebakumar. Abdul Khan. Virgilio Lobar-Kivanch. Albert Marichuk. Kimberly Powell. Andrea Ruggiero. Natalia Ryan. Elaine Scordelis. Jennifer Spencer. Paris Williams.
Vice-Chancellor, colleagues, graduates and guests, Anne-Marie Imafidon is one of the UK's most influential young computer scientists and has made a major contribution to inspiring the next generation of girls to study and enter careers in STEM, science, technology, engineering and mathematics. Anne-Marie's exceptional talents were recognised and nurtured early. She passed her mathematics and IT GCSEs while still at primary school, and she was the youngest girl ever to attain an A-level in computer science. She won a scholarship to Johns Hopkins University, USA, at the age of 13, before returning to the UK to read mathematics and computer science at Oxford, earning her master's degree by the age of 20. After internships at Lehman Brothers and Goldman Sachs, Anne-Marie became an analyst at Deutsche Bank. In 2013, Anne-Marie founded STEMettes, and I know there are some STEMettes in the audience here today as well, a social enterprise aimed at encouraging more girls to consider careers in science, engineering and technology. Anne-Marie has a deep and personal understanding of the factors discouraging girls and young women in the UK from continuing to study STEM. These include a lack of knowledge about the opportunities and rewards, and sometimes poor career guidance. All of this, of course, is compounded by powerful social and cultural stereotypes which suggest to girls that science is not for them. Her own success and experience acts as a powerful role model for young women to counter these negative impressions. Through STEMettes, Anne-Marie has set out to tackle this issue by introducing girls and young women to STEM subjects in fun, accessible, and relevant ways. Through panel events, hackathons, and a more than mentoring scheme, Anne-Marie and her team are challenging preconceptions and changing perceptions about what it means to be a woman in STEM. The STEMettes ran the very first tech incubator initiative called Outbox Incubator for teenage girls who had great ideas for startups. And some of you may have seen a documentary about this project called Eat, Sleep, STEM, Repeat, which was premiered this year. Having worked with 15,000 girls to date, Anne-Marie aims to reach 2 million young women by 2025. The next step is to nurture a network of STEMillions clubs. These are capitalizing on the ingenuity and initiative of the young girls who are already attracted to STEMettes, empowering them with opportunities to collaborate and compete and to spur each other on. Anne-Marie is widely acknowledged as a pioneer in her own industry, having won Young IT Professional of the Year and been voted one of the most influential women working in IT. But her commitment to opening up the industry to other women and girls has won her broader attention and acclaim. She has been one of Red Magazine's Women of the Year and named in the Evening Standard's list of London's most influential people. She has also received the Prime Minister's Points of Light Award for volunteers making a difference in the community, and she was made an MBE in the New Year's Honours list. A gifted communicator, an exceptional social entrepreneur, and a truly outstanding role model, Anne-Marie's energy, creativity and passion are a genuine inspiration. At the Open University, we share Anne-Marie's belief in the profound importance of diversity and inclusion in STEM, and so are delighted to celebrate her contribution to technology, business and education. At just 28, Anne-Marie has already made a phenomenal impact, and we very much look forward to seeing her career and influence develop further. Vice-Chancellor, by the authority of the Senate, I present to you for the honorary degree of Doctor of the University, Anne-Marie Imafidon.
VC, members of the Senate, and today's graduates, thank you very, very much for making me a doctor of this university. I've actually been waiting for this day for a long time, since I was little. I've always thought the doctor title was cool. My dad has a PhD, so he's already the first Dr. Imafidon, but I've always thought Dr. Anne-Marie had a nice ring to it. It was slightly bittersweet, actually, receiving the letter of invitation for this, as I realised that even though I am a doctor of a university, I may only be referred to as Dr. Anne-Marie whilst on the grounds of that university. So those of you that are in Milton Keynes will be seeing a lot more of me. And I'll be notifying my phone provider and utilities providers to be sending my bills there in the name of Dr. Anne-Marie. Now, the Open University stands on the principles of adult education and distance learning. And though I wasn't quite an adult, I do remember being able to take advantage of that distance learning via the OU-BBC partnership, the BBC Learning Zone, back in the 90s. Early morning BBC Two was always being recorded on the VCR in our house. We had tapes and tapes of courses. So I ended up not listening at school, because I could just come back and watch the TV at home with no distractions. My love of TV continues to this day, but sadly, BBC Learning Zone on BBC Two doesn't. Now, those graduating today join a wonderfully diverse and fantastic OU alumni, which includes some notable women in STEM, which I wanted to point out. But also, I want to give a quick shout out to those women in STEM who have graduated today as well. Whoop, whoop. In addition to your Chancellor, Baroness Martha Lane Fox, who founded lastminute.com, of course, in the 90s, there is another example that I wanted to highlight, being Natalia Kaspersky, who gained a bachelor's degree in business from the OU and now keeps us safe and secure online via her cybersecurity company, Kaspersky Security. I'm sure quite a few of us in this room owe a lot of thanks to her. You can also count academic alumni, such as Dame Jocelyn Bell Burnell, who narrowly missed out on the Nobel Prize back in 1974 after discovering the first radio pulsars. She was a tutor, examiner, and lecturer, and went on to become Professor of Physics at the OU in the 1990s. Now, today is a celebration all round, and there are many, many reasons to celebrate. It was inspiring hearing some of, and sorry I was eavesdropping, some of the things that you'd said already to the VC today in terms of how long it's taken you and all the challenges that you've been through to get to the seats that you're in today. I would like to add one more reason to celebrate to that list. So today signifies a new qualification for you from the OU, but it also confirms that you have what it takes to succeed in life. There are many others in a similar position, even today, across the country and even the world at graduations, but very few will be able to claim truly living those principles of adult education and distance learning. You've got a head start. You've got a head start on all of those who, like me, simply rolled out of bed into lectures. You belong to the 5%. a very small percentage, of those who successfully complete distance learning courses, and of course the now fabulously famous massive online open courses. You're in that 5%. You've demonstrated a remarkable discipline that will stand you in good stead for your new university, being the University of Life. Now, from tomorrow onwards, after the celebrations are finished, it's your responsibility to pass it forward. The privilege that you've experienced is for your good, but also for the good of others around you. And as one of my favourite women in STEM, Grace Hopper, said, a ship in port is safe, but that's not what ships are built for. Thank you very much.
Vice-Chancellor, continuing the presentation of graduates, I shall now present those who have gained Bachelor of Science degrees, foundation degrees and diplomas of higher education and have been able to attend here today. The full subject details are printed in the insert within the ceremony programme. I present for the degree of Bachelor of Science with First Class Honours, Jacqueline Bailey. Anna Barnes. Jan Barrett. Helen Bradbrook. Alex Brown. Gemma Brown. David Buckingham. David Buckley. Carol Dean Holand. Anthony Dalton. Anna Eildon. Nina Edwards. Nicholas Howe. Sarah Hurley. Hannah Jennings. Jacqueline Knight. Alison McBurney. Rebecca Minchella. Aurora Nava DeGadio. Angie O'Neill. Karen Osborne. Hannah Pointer. David Pretty. Bridget Proll. Nicola Roper. Claire Salmon. Nathalie Van Lanschot Gallo. Claire Watson. Zoe Wren. I present for the degree of Bachelor of Science with First Class Honours and a Foundation degree, Amanda Pilmore Bedford. For the degree of Bachelor of Science with Honours, I present Annabella Almeida. Natasha Anderson. Felicia Awajobi. Sue Baptiste. Natalie Barnes. Christopher Benson. Lisa Brindley. Paula Berman. Stuart Cameron. John Carey. Caroline Chapman. Mandy Clinton. Louise Cole. Vicky Cooper. Nicola Copland. Michael Kostashuk. Alan Cutler. Doris Danzig-Jones. Agyenim Darkwa. Rebecca Davey. Stiliani Draka. Christine Evelyn. Sasha Field. Sarah Fitzpatrick. Neil Forber. Angeline Forsyth. Nikki Foster. Francesca Frazzoni. Chantel Gardner. Lisa Geegan. Genevieve Georgieva. Chiara Gamero. Kaylee Gourlay. Lisa Grech. Simona Gogolova. Sarah Hale. Lauren Hall. Jennifer Harper. Sue Harris. Annalie Hickey. Amy Holmes. Alexandra Janik. Richard Jello. Janet Jones. Amin Kabara. Claire Kendall. Anne-Marie Larkin. Georgie Lawrence. Leanne Leonard Sampson. Wesley Lockwood. Chantel Lynch. Leslie MacDonald. Elise Marshall. Carlos Martinez. Sarah Martinez. Joy Mason. Chloe Miller. Rukhsana Mohammed. Eileen Mumford. Andy Munro. Zainab Mustafa. James Newman. Francis Noble. Natasha Apoko. Michelle Payne. Sue Pedrick. Claire Perry Stevens. Adam Peters. Jez Pigden. Joseph Pinnock. Susan Ray. Humara Raja. Jessica Reed. Nida Raymat. Yael Raicha. Helen Ralph. Julie Richards. Hayley Rose. Konstantinos Salasagalu. Robin Saunders. Amanda Sargent. Carly Shep. Connor Sharps. Muslima Sikdar. Nikki Smiley. Jenna Smith. David Stevens. Sarah Stocks. Chloe Sullivan. Mario Tascon. Diane Taylor. Karina Thulis Smith. Catriona Thompson. Carly Taus. Leanne Trim. Dugan Warren. Eve Warren. Louise White. For the degree of Bachelor of Science, I present Opiyemi Adeniruju. Jenny Crowhurst. Natalie Flood. Charlene Carston. Linda Kirby. Andy MacDonald. Yeah. Joanne Moen. Lewis Orange. For the degree of Bachelor of Science, Nursing Practice, with honours, I present Cheryl Bannister Bacchus. For a foundation degree, I present Danielle Orwood. Sarah Angelou. Lauren Archer. Alex Ockey. Richard Buller. Liam Clark. Kaylee Collins. Monica Deshpande. Daniel Fisher. Sarah Garlick. Erica Green. Simon Hutchian. Georgia King. Maria Maya. Mary Mudd. Johanna O'Donnell. Sarah Osborne. Christopher Pickering. Laura Probert. Evangeline Scott. Jacqueline Sylvester. Thomas Stevens. Rebecca Sutcliffe. Amy Thornley. Liam Toomey. Josh Waugh. Lucas Williams. For a Diploma of Higher Education, I present Francis Blanchard. Elaine Lawson.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's been a wonderful afternoon for all of us, particularly our wonderful graduates. A special day for all of you, and a special day for me because I saw the most wonderful, huge smiles as people came across the stage. Also, a few tears because there were some huge emotions on display, and so many people who expressed their appreciation for the university. I picked up a few tidbits. We've got some families here who've come from a long way. We've got a family from Greece. Where are you? And we've got a family from South Africa. Well done. Thank you for travelling so far. And a little bit more biographical information. One lady said to me, 5 years and 5 kids later, which, you know, how on earth would you do that? In all sorts of ways. And even longer. One person said that it was 44 years since their study began at the Open University. And someone else, a different thing about the length of time, who said, when I left school 53 years ago at the age of 16, I never thought I'd be collecting a degree. From where I came from, no one ever got a university degree. Congratulations to all those people who've achieved so much. Other things that people said, best thing I ever did. It changed my life entirely. I enjoyed every single day, which was incredible. And I asked someone else and they said, well, it was very hard. Well, of course it's hard. It's a degree. We don't give them away easily. So well done, because achieving an Open University degree is at a very, very high standard. So from those little bits of information, I hope you can tell that every individual here is extraordinary. But I believe that together, all of you are even more extraordinary. In fact, you're probably the most extraordinary body of graduates, certainly anywhere in this country. And everyone who's here this afternoon, I would venture, are with the most extraordinary people they're ever likely to be with in one single room in their lives. So why is that? Now, as family and friends and supporters, you know your individual graduate, but you may not know that much about the other students and graduates of the university. So I'd just like to take a minute or two just to get a sense of the special achievements of Open University graduates. I'm going to ask a few questions, and could the graduates just put up their hands? Who was employed or did voluntary work at some stage during their study? Amazing, amazing. Who helped to bring up children during their study? And who helped perhaps to care for their parents or other dependents, had other caring responsibilities? So as I think you can see from that, almost every student here has needed to fulfill some other obligation alongside their study. Now, compare that with the wonderful but more ordinary regular universities, where students' extra duties might only extend to the sports field or possibly the students' bar. Your efforts are so much greater. And I have a slight frustration with the words that we tend to use about the kind of students that are at the OU as being part-time students. Part-time alongside working or alongside caring or alongside bringing up kids, that's at least double time. And many of you, as you came across the stage, signalled to your family or told me how much your family and your supporters meant to you. So I think we should just turn the tables for a moment and for the graduates to acknowledge the support of your family, friends and supporters who are celebrating with you today. Please, graduates, stand and applaud your supporters this afternoon. And that includes the children too. Quite a few parents told me as their kids were shouting out how relieved their children were that they were going to get mum or dad back. And someone said to me, after 6 years, I won't be so grumpy, and she's looking forward to that. I think we should also thank another group of people who were really vital in your achievement. The Open University's wonderful academics, represented by my colleagues here on the stage. Let's thank them, the tutors and the academics, for the fantastic support they gave you. So I hope we can all agree you're all special, but you're also special because of the university that you've just graduated from and the standards that we set. Standards that we know, for instance, employers really appreciate. So in a survey of over 1,000 employers recently, we've found that they regard part-time students to be both hard-working, committed, and having real discipline. So a qualification from this university is something to be proud of, it's respected. And if you're looking for a new job, a career change or promotion, I hope that's something that you can say to your employer. It really makes a difference to explain how hard you've had to work and the way that you've had to strive. Here are just a few other quick facts that might be helpful in terms of telling people about your achievement and the wonderful work that the Open University does. Earlier this month, our English in Action project, which is delivered in collaboration with Cambridge Education, won a prestigious Pioneer Award, and this innovative 10-year project has been changing the way that children and young people learn English in the country of Bangladesh. Many of you will be familiar with our partnership with the BBC, so whenever you see the Open University shield at the end of a television programme, you can be sure that there'll be something extra to learn. I'd like to turn to the research of the Open University. When the exercise that assesses research excellence across UK universities was done a few years ago, it showed that Open University research, 75% of it was classed as either world-leading or internationally excellent. And one of the areas that we're most proud of in our research is our space science. And we were reminded of that by the very recent ending of the Cassini mission when the probe went into the planet Saturn. And the Cassini mission was also the Cassini Huygens mission, which helped transform our understanding of the solar system. And Huygens was the lander that was carried by Cassini and landed on the moon Titan 12 years ago. And on there was some very clever instrumentation which had been coordinated and devised by Open University scientists, which sent back the first information that we ever had about that extraordinary moon of Saturn. So up there in the sky, if you know where Saturn is, you can imagine there's a little bit of Open University technology and brain power. And just that thought of the kind of way that this university can project its knowledge universally, I think is a great symbol of what we do. So you're a member of a university that's a world leader in technology, in educational innovation, and in helping people to learn. And from now on, from this day on, you will always be a member of that university, what we describe as our movement of millions, but with a mission of one. A university that believes where you start in life shouldn't limit where you go. So the person who at 16 thought it was impossible to be able to achieve a degree, helping people like that, helping everyone to be able to achieve, is what we believe in. You're joining a community of alumni from around the world, and we'll continue to be with you as we were through your study journey. Our motto on that crest, learn and live. I hope it's something that you will all embody as you step out into your lives, because we're the people who open up the future of learning. You've proven great skills and ability, and now I hope you'll be confident that you can change the world around you for the better. As Anne-Marie said, this is a great gift to you as an individual, but also we hope that you'll be able to give back to society. You're now part of a wonderful and vast network of other people with same extraordinary achievements as you have. Link up with them. Use social media like LinkedIn to share your experience and make new connections. Maybe try some of our free courses on OpenLearn or FutureLearn. And for the gluttons for punishment amongst you, you might even think of coming back, maybe after a little bit of a break, and doing a further OU course. In fact, I've heard some people already saying they're going on to do their masters or higher qualifications. I hope you've already seen outside in the foyer members of the Open University alumni team. Do chat to them and hear about alumni activity and how you can maintain your connection to the university and potentially help us as we approach our 50th anniversary, where we're campaigning around the theme of opening up the future, opening up opportunity, opening up lives for many more people as your opportunities have been opened up. Because we hope that when you leave today, you will each become an ambassador for the OU and what we stand for. Tell people about your OU experience. You might have seen our occasional television adverts, which bring to life the wonderful trials and jubilation of being an OU student, and those are very effective. But the recommendation of an OU graduate to someone else who's thinking about giving themselves greater opportunities in their lives, that makes a fantastic difference, and I hope that you'll feel proud to speak of your university and to celebrate what you've achieved. In a moment, the ceremonial will end and we will process out. And I hope to be able to speak to a few of you in the foyer outside, along with the rest of the processing party. But I think there's one last thing that we should do before the procession, which is to ask the graduates to stand once again, and this time let's really lift the roof for our wonderful new graduates. Thank you. The proceedings of this degree ceremony have been completed, and I now declare this meeting of congregation closed. Would all of those who are able to stand please do so?